You found yourself on another episode of Locked On Bulls. On today's episode, we're going to talk about Dalen Terry being sent down to the G League and what that could mean for him and his development. The City Edition jerseys have officially been released, and then we'll be previewing Sunday's game against the Denver Nuggets. We're going to get into all that and more on today's Locked On Bulls.
You are Locked On Bulls, your daily podcast on the Chicago Bulls, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Thank you for making Locked On Bulls your first listen every day. Locked On Bulls, member of the Locked On Podcast Network. Today's episode is brought to you by BetOnline. BetOnline has you covered this season with more props, odds, and lines than ever before. BetOnline, where the game starts. That's Pat the Designer, host and creator of the Windy City Breeze. I'm Haize, host and creator of Chicago Bulls and Chicago Bears Central. Pat, the Rook, he got sent down to the G League, brother. I know we've been talking a lot about, him getting minutes or not, or working his way into the rotation.
Yeah.
I'm going to start this one off. I'll just say this. I think this is the perfect decision for him. He needs minutes. He needs time to develop. He needs to be working on the shot. And not to say that he's not working on those things in practice. And he'll technically still be practicing with the team. Maybe even still traveling with the team at times if the Windy City Bulls don't have a game. But at the end of the day, I just think him getting minutes, him giving repetitions is going to bode well. And over on Central, I compared it to how the Portland Trail Blazers and Anthony Simons' first season in the NBA left him down in the G. Now, he did play 20 games up on the actual roster, but he spent primarily his first season down in the G League, just coming along and was able to really fire on all cylinders coming in that second season, having a defined role. What do you think this is going to do for Dalen Terry, Pat?
I think he'll be back probably by the next game, right? I mean, honestly, like, they have 4 days off, and you want to see him get some run. You want to see him get some in-game action. And I believe the Windy City Bulls have 2 games before the Bulls play again. So he'll actually get some in-game action. He'll get to work with some guys he's already comfortable with, because I believe Marco's still down there. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of those things that to me, right, like, they're all good things. None of this is bad. None of this is you're being demoted. None of this is, and you're using the league for what it's supposed to be used for. You're using the league for development. You want to see Dalen get some run. I wouldn't be surprised if you see Dalen right back with the team for Sunday's game, or maybe the game after that, right? But they want to see what this kid looks like on the floor, running the floor. And when he got into the NBA games, not to say he didn't play well, but he just looked nervous.
Well, I got to correct you there. So I don't think this is an assignment just for a couple of days, because the Windy City Bulls actually don't play until Sunday, same day the Bulls.
Oh, same day. Okay.
Okay. They both play again on the 13th. So I don't know, and that makes sense though. If they just send him down there for some time in practice or whatever else. And maybe it is just for practice, even though they're staying in Chicago. Maybe they have more intense practices down there or whatever in the Windy City Bulls.
Just to be the focal point of the practice, right? Your first round pick goes down there. People are going to be like, yeah, let's get him the ball a lot.
Yeah. so we'll see. I don't know if this is going to be as short term of an assignment as maybe you initially thought. I do think it's probably going to be a longer one, but I think it's better off for it. And I know I've already seen some reactions of people saying like, well, how is this really going to help Dalen? What is it really going to help him do? And it's really just about reps. That's what it is. It's really just about reps and having some tape where the coaches can then work on them and say, all right, this is what you did wrong on this play. Because if you're not playing on the NBA level, they don't have any tape to really point out and work on specific things in your game. And also, the G League is the developmental league. That's what it's there for. Yeah. So and Billy Donovan even talked about this, they haven't been having real practice. They've been having shoot-arounds. They haven't been having real practices. So for Dalen Terry to go down there and get some more individual work, one of the assistant coaches down there that we talked about earlier in the season, they brought over one of the best trainers from Europe to be an assistant coach over for the Windy City Bulls. So I just look at this all being a very positive situation for Dalen Terry's development overall.
Yeah, it's all positive. There's nothing negative here. I mean, I understand, right, people are saying, right, like, well, if he could go, play him at the NBA level. I've got some grumblings on my side over on the Breeze, man. There's some people just like, y'all see what Walker Kessler doing? Y'all remember Walker Kessler? I'm like, hey, listen, let's not bring that up. Dalen got that dog in him, right? We're going to live in that. Dalen got that dog in him.
Yeah.
Looks good. But I think that this is something I feel like they kind of threw Dalen out there. Not to say Dalen didn't know what was going on, but they just kind of were like, let's see what the kid can do. And when he got on the floor right, maybe he's not picking up the play calls as well. Maybe when they are setting up something for the offense, he doesn't really understand where he's supposed to be or how he's supposed to rotate and different things like that. This is just things to fine-tune his game and get him more ready for the NBA-ready game. And listen, it works, right? Like, Malcolm Hill, when he first showed up here, yeah, he looked okay. Went down to the G League, came back up. He doesn't look like a world beater, but he looks like he could play NBA ball. I would say it works for Marco, but Billy Donovan doesn't know that Marco's on the Windy City Bulls. Even he has no idea that Marco's still in Chicago.
Hey, listen, have you gotten to see any Windy City Bulls games yet?
I saw the first 2 of the season. And,
Marco's been down there playing pretty well.
Of course he is.
Yeah. That's why it's like, I don't know how much Marco has left the game, because he's down there putting up like 19 and 10, 19 and 11, 16 and 11 one game. Yeah. Like, he's out there balling. But outside of that, like, I'm going to tune in to a lot of Windy City Bulls games anyway. I don't always watch them live, which shout out to the G League now for now airing the games live on their YouTube. This is the first season they're airing every game live on their YouTube channel. But it's just, it kind of is what it is, man. That's the way I look at it. Like, anything, all this is built. The Bulls aren't going to do anything that's not meant to increase Dalen Terry's skill set. That's not meant to develop him. And I think people who are having those knee-jerk reactions, if you guys are, of like, hey, well, what does this really say how they see him if they sending him down to the G League? This just means they want the guy to get reps. That's all.
It tells you he's not ready. And that's okay. Some people aren't ready when they first come into the NBA. Yeah. Some people are. Some people can come out and they can make plays and they can be immediate successes in this league. Some people are not. And I would think in the day and age of Jordan Poole and Anthony Simons and guys like that you've seen go to the G League. Heck, one guy that's on your team, Alex Caruso, where you've seen multiple guys already go down to the G League, come back up, and you look at him and you say, okay, maybe he's not a superstar, but he's a really good player for us. Mm-hmm. I would think that we're at the point where we stop looking at the G League as you're going down like it's the D League back in the day. Because if you went down to the D League, your career was over. Your career was done. You were finished. But it's not that anymore. This is literally, start thinking of it like the AHL for hockey or AAA for baseball. This is literally send them down there, get them some work on some things, focus on some things. And here's the thing. With the Bulls schedule, he might not be able to focus on as much because they're not going to be practicing as much. This is going to be the best stretch of practice the Bulls are going to have.
For sure. And then you got to look, like, after this next game at home, I think they have one away, and then they come back for 2 more at home. And then they're gone for like 7 straight games, which is like 2 weeks. So if Dalen Terry does come back, it's probably not going to be gone to after that long road trip if he does come back. But at the end of the day, it is what it is. There have been so many success stories. You just mentioned a couple that have gone to the G League. I always look at Anthony Simons, a player that averaged 7 minutes in the 20 games he played in his rookie season, spent most of that season down in the G League, but then in that next season coming up, getting over 20 minutes per game because they figured out a role for him. That's all it is. That's all it is.
And there was nobody left on the team.
No, at that point, they still had a lot of people left on the team. His second season, they still had CJ.
All hurt,
nice. No, bro, that was the season after.
Was that the season after?
That was the season after.
I think they was hurt both years, bro. They be hurt a lot out in Portland.
I mean, they do be hurt a lot. Don't get me wrong, right? I'm not arguing with you over the health of the Portland Trailblazers. But they were still a playoff team that season. So
okay, I get you.
Yeah, so yeah, I mean that was Carmelo Anthony's resurgent season. Moses Brown was on the team. CJ McCollum was still. Yusuf Nurkic was still on the team. Yeah, they had a pretty solid team then, bro.
They be hurt, though. They be hurt
They do be hurt a lot, bro.
Nah, I mean, at the end of the day, when do you think we'll get Dalen back? I think Dalen will be back with the Bulls at some point this season. When do you think we'll get Dalen back?
Well, the benefit is that he's not a two-way player, so technically he can play for the Windy City Bulls one day, and the very next day they can call him and be like, hey, meet us at such and such. Yeah. So I'm looking at the Bulls schedule. Like I said,
ticket.
No, they're definitely out. That's foul.
They only do that to Marco.
But
Marco definitely got to buy his own ticket.
I say this. Looking at the schedule, Maybe he's back the 21st when they face Boston at home, but then he's going to go right back down to the G League for that. I just don't see him on the roster for that road trip unless something goes left.
I would agree with that. I think I thought they had a game, so I thought that they were going to like do the send down like they did with Marco, send them down, bring them back up type of thing. But if that game's not till the 13th, I could probably see that. Yeah, bringing them back up during that Boston game.
Yeah.
That is going to be interesting. He's probably going to spend a lot of time up and down this season between the two. And hey, kids, start cooking. Right? Here's the thing: be the best player in the G League, win the G League MVP. You'll be on the roster. Like, what are they going to say?
If Dalen Terry has like 3 games in a row where he goes off for like 35 in the G League, they're calling him back up immediately. This is literally
because remember that stretch where that was a different team too. That
was a completely different team.
I was gonna say, remember that stretch where Antonio Blakeney was just killing the G League? Like, dang, bro, like maybe he should be on the roster. He came back up and got no tick. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
PTO.
But next up, we're going to talk about these new City Edition jerseys that were officially now released today. But first, got to talk to you guys about BetOnline. BetOnline.net is your number one source for your sport betting info, stats, news, and analysis. Get the latest odds and trends for every professional and amateur league out there, from football to basketball to soccer and esports. We've got all that covered at BetOnline.net. And if you love sports podcasts, you can find those at BetOnline as well. We're always the fastest and easiest way to get your betting fix. Head to the website today or use your mobile device to learn more. BetOnline, where the game starts.
We want to thank you guys for making Locked On Bulls your first listen every day. For your second listen, make sure that you check out Locked On Sports Today. From the games that matter the most to the biggest stories in sports, go beyond the scoreboard and behind the scenes with local experts and insight only Locked On can provide. Locked On Sports Today, available on this app, YouTube, and wherever you get your podcast.
And there it is. Speaking of there it is, bro, these jerseys got leaked a little while ago. We kind of talked about them, but now they've been officially released. These City Edition jerseys. Now that you see them, the unis, the complete unis, the shorts, and the jerseys, how do you feel about it?
You know what? I feel better about them after seeing the concept design on them. I still think that you know what it is too when you see everybody. So did you see the whole leagues?
I saw that.
There's some ugly ones out there, bro.
And we're not nearly the worst, bro.
No, we're not. So I feel so much better about it because of that. First off, Miami just said, "Nah, we just gonna keep running back with this."
What is it? Miami Vice jerseys.
Yeah, I don't know what that is. Like, okay, we just gonna do that every season now. That's ours forever. But Pat Riley just ain't paying no attention. But I think at the end of the day, I like the concept of it. Right? It's got the. I wish I could remember the name of it. It's essentially like the real logo of Chicago, where it shows the 3 rivers, the 3 major rivers that meet in Chicago coming together. And that logo is literally plastered all over Chicago. It's on a lot of historical monuments, a lot of old buildings and stuff like that. So, like, look at that logo and then just walk downtown, and now you'll never be able to unsee it, which is pretty funny. But I like them better. I still think they look like knockoff Miami Heat jerseys. But
I feel you, but I don't agree. But I feel you where you come.
You know what I mean? But it's just, here's the thing. It's probably the worst ones we've had.
Yeah, this is the worst ones we've had. Like, so looking at these, right? What are some of the best? The standouts for me, I like Atlanta's. I like Boston's, of course. We talked about that early in the season.
Crazy.
I actually like New York's as well. I like Denver's, and I actually like the Clippers also. Now, I haven't seen the shorts to the Clippers, but I like the jerseys so far on them. Those would be some of the best for me out the bunch. What about you?
I'm not gonna lie to you. I kind of like Phillies. I kind of mess with Phillies.
The brotherly love joints.
Yeah, I mess with the brotherly love joints.
Okay.
Here's the weird part about this too. Like, I love the My City thing, but like all the teams that are just like, we're just gonna make it not our team colors. Like, you're weird. You're weird.
Like the Spurs.
The Spurs.
Weird,
what the heck? What the heck is that?
That's
like,
ugly.
Why are we not making it our team colors? Like, listen, the Rockets, old school Rockets jersey, right? I mess with that. Celtics is cool. Jordan approving whatever the heck is going on with the Hornets, that was trash.
Yeah, that's ugly.
That is a garbage jersey. The Nets one, what does the Nets one remind me of? It reminds me of something
know
from
what
my
it is?
childhood, but I can't figure it out.
Do you remember the and one street ball game?
Yes,
That was just called ESPN Street Ball.
Okay, yeah.
Google the font that they use there. I believe it looks a little like
Might be that. Okay, I might be that. Is that also the font for Living Single? Am I tweaking on that? At the Living Single font a little bit?
Hold on, wait a second.
That might be what I'm feeling on that. That might be what I'm feeling on that.
Wait a second. Oh, you just hit it on the head.
Is that on the head? Okay,
you hit it on the head.
Now I know why I'm rocking with the jersey. The Living Single font on that one. Okay, I'm in the
building. Washington, is that pink?
Ugly. Yeah, that's horrible. Washington's is horrible. Hold on, hold on, let me see it. Because we're talking about it on the podcast, and nobody can see it on the YouTube side. And if you haven't seen it, it's pretty trash. I might be able to just add it in here real quick. Yeah, here we go. But yeah, there's some really bad ones in here. I think the Bulls, for the most part, I think they just went basic. I think the Bulls really just went basic. Now, here's the most controversial one of the day.
Okay.
You either hate or you love Golden States. I don't know the meaning behind Golden States either, so I don't want to just come out with
I don't know either with the flower or whatever, but I will say this. So I saw when the whole unis are on, you can't see that bottom flower at all. So it's pointless to even put it on.
Really? See,
it looks better that way. Like the whole uni together, actually them wearing it, I actually like the look of the uni because you can't see that golden flower at the bottom of it.
That might be what it, I don't know. Like I'm not mad at the Golden State one. I just don't know the meaning behind it. Detroit's is weird.
Detroit's is always weird, bro. Like
Detroit's is weird. Cleveland's weird. Dallas is just old school. I like some of the guys that are just going like the Bulls did that last year, right? Like I think that's probably my favorite one from the Bulls is last year's probably. Out of all of them. I like the light blue, but right, you go with the old school Chicago finds across the chest. Like that was one of my favorite ones. Outside of that, I don't know. I think Brooklyn's is Brooklyn.
Just so you can see it, brother. There goes the jersey, the whole.
So it's tucked in.
So it's tucked in. You can't see it, the flower at all. I mean, you can see it a little bit of it there, but like if you're looking that hard, I got to question what you're looking at. But yeah, like I said, it looks a lot better as a uniform. The jersey itself with the big old gold flower at the bottom that fades. You know what? And it fades. It has that gradient like an old school FUBU jersey.
I respect, and that's what I was gonna say. I respect it now for that reason because Golden State's the only ones that was like, Mug's gonna be wearing this. Let's give him something to match some J's with, or let's give him something to match some ones with. Right? Like you throw a pair of white pants on, or some cream pants, and some gold J's like that. Now you know, like they was actually thinking about people in this mug. Like everybody else,
the black and gold 6 rings would look really good.
You know what I mean? Like. They did I give you credit, Golden State. Like I thought it looked weird with the jersey tucked in. It looks a lot better. I give y'all that. Now watch they play with the jersey untucked. You're like, oh god. Oh, here we go.
I don't think you can do that. I think you have to like. I hope you don't. Also, another one in this, and this is the last one I'll point out. We can move on. What is Phoenix's? What is PDX?
I don't know. Wait, where do you see PDS at?
PDX.
PBX.
PDX.
Is that Phoenix? That's
Phoenix's.
No,
that is Phoenix's jersey.
Phoenix has got to be the one with the ball on it, right? The one that looks like the sun?
No, that's the Thunder.
Okay, now Muggs is tweaking. Now I'm all confused. Wait a minute. I thought that was the sun. That's the Thunder?
That's the Thunder.
That makes no sense.
No, it's not. You're right. Wait a second.
No, the Thunder's all the way on the left.
Yeah, the Thunder's all the way on the left. So what is the PDX then?
Is that Portland?
That's Portland's?
I think so.
That makes sense because the jersey with the slash. Okay, that makes sense. But that's ugly. That's even worse.
It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make. It
makes no sense.
It makes sense that it's Portland, but it doesn't. Yeah, that's Portland's, bro.
That's ugly.
Phoenix is the sun. When the Thunder one is on the left, which the Thunder kind of went generic with it as well.
They just did a color swap on it.
It was like, let's do a colorway on this. Yeah. Let's give them match with these ones. Yeah.
They crazy, bro.
But no, I think after we've eviscerated half of the teams, the Bulls ain't at the bottom.
Not at all.
I think they're
still towards the top.
Yeah.
Top 10, top 12,
10. Let me see. Well, yeah, because you know what? I'm dinging Miami for just not being creative. Miami just was like, we just gonna keep running it back. Minnesota looked like an old school printer commercial. New York is New York, so that's trash anyway.
That looks like the Kinko's logo. So
that's
that
what.
makes
There you go. You know what I mean? Like, okay, maybe they are top 10. I ain't gonna lie to you. I can eat that. Atlanta looked like they literally went with the Atlanta font from the show Atlanta.
Oh, that's absolutely what that is.
Is that what they
did? If Childish Gambino was involved in design. Let me do some research on that while we segmented into transition to the next segment, brother.
I love it, man. I love it. That's pretty funny. Oh man, I ain't got to read.
Oh, you don't have to read. Well, going into the next one. It's a wild Friday. It's all I can
Friday,
say,
man. We having fun.
The Bulls play the Denver Nuggets on Sunday, brother. How do you feel about it?
I mean, you got a long way to go. You got 4 days to fix the mistakes that you have essentially played out in every single game right now. I want to see what practice is going to breed from that. I want to see what them being able to get out there and actually work on some things is going to bring about, because I feel like every loss we haven't talked about new things, right? We haven't talked about, and I will say this, right? There's some Bulls fans that are just like, the Bulls are terrible, they're trash, they're falling off the face of the earth, right? Like, y'all saying the same things as when we were getting blown out by 40 last year to these same teams. We're not getting blown out by 40. I'm not seeing improvement. I'm clearly seeing improvement. But what I want to see is them lock down some things. What I want to see is them tighten up a few things, right? That pass, that's the inbound pass to DeMar. Billy Donovan talked about how the screen wasn't set properly. So DeMar's defender was able to kind of trail him a little bit more. The pass was thrown out. DeMar's got to reach out to try and get it past the hand, right? Like little things like that. I don't think that the Bulls are far off. I just think that there's little things that are popping up that are biting the Bulls in the butt at the end of the day. Holding on to the ball. Like, somebody get these must some baby powder. First off, there's no baby powder in the whole building. You're telling me nobody's got any to throw up in the air? Jordan used to do it all the time. There's no leftover baby powder in the UC. Nobody's got none, because it's sweaty in there. It's hot. I don't know what it is, but nobody can hold on to this basketball as it's being passed to them. And for God's sake, somebody figure out what an end line is on the corners so that we can stop stepping out of bounds. Tighten those little things up, and I feel good going into the Denver game.
Yeah, I want to see the defense tighten up for one. Turnovers, defense and turnovers. If we can tighten those two things up, that fixes a lot. If we can tighten up the defense, turnovers, and the shooting, we look, it's all butter, baby. I'm gonna quote old boy from Baby Boy.
That's tough. Wow. I should have never brought up living single out here. Now, do you think the defense has been that bad to this point, though? I actually think the Bulls played
in certain times. It has been. Like last night, they played 3.5 quarters of great defense, but when they needed a stop, they couldn't get one.
I'll agree with that. I'll agree with. I think the Bulls have actually done pretty well defensively. I think that
we're the 10th defense in the league, so we got to be doing a pretty good job.
You got to be doing something right. Yeah. I just think, like, last night, I almost separate from everything else, because it's the one time where I was just like baffled by what the heck Billy Donovan was doing defensively. It was like, for the most part, the defense this season's been okay. And then he's like, yeah, Alex Caruso on Brandon Ingram. That's going to work. But then the thing is that when it didn't work, you didn't adjust. Like, you had to do was see 2 possessions and be like, all right, this ain't working. Pat, get back in the game. Well, here's the thing. At first, it made sense, right? Because you had an offensive lineup out there. You were trying to score more. You were trying to have guys out there that could run and were going to push the ball. But then once you got the lead, it's like, all right, get Pat out there, because Brandon Ingram is killing this mug. So I want the Bulls to kind of tighten up on some of the things that, and it's not major things. Here's the thing. We're not losing these games by major things. We're losing these games by small mental mistakes. We're losing these games by turnovers at the end of the day. We're losing these games. I mean, we lost this game right by the rebounding battle, but me and you have both praised the Bulls rebounding for most of this season with Andre Drummond in there, and for the most part without Andre Drummond in there. So I just think that when you see those little things, those small things that they need to tune up, and you definitely need to clean up at a minimum your defensive scheme, because I tell you this right now, Michael Porter Jr. is coming to kill. He wanted to be here in Chicago. He wanted to play for this thing. He's absolutely finna come in here and try and light you up for 50. Because that boy right now is cooking this season. Every time Jokic throw a pass, it's just a bucket. So I think that you, if anything, right, figure out the game plans, the different sets that you want to use in that crunch time moment, in those moments where you're going through those offensive droughts, that's the main thing they got to fix. Figure out what's the plays that you can run when you're in those offensive droughts. I feel like I've talked about that every time I've talked about the Bulls for 2 weeks at the start of this season. We had like 4 of them in that game, 2 minutes at a time. That's 8 minutes of no baskets.
That's crazy.
That's a whole quarter. And in the meantime, they going on 8-0 runs, 9-0 runs.
The scoring droughts, that's a huge thing that they need to fix at some point in time. They need to figure out a way, and it can't just be DeMar, because usually, so what happens now is that teams know that when the Bulls can't get a bucket for a while, they know to key in DeMar, because the Bulls usually go to DeMar to get them a bucket or get to the free throw line, get some points on the board. And I think you have to start going to Vooch in those moments, even if it's not designed for him to score. To just operate from him down low there. Like, hopefully the Bulls and this coach staff is looking at something. Bro, so, hey, did you know Michael Porter Jr. has only played 2 games against the Bulls his whole career?
Yeah, I think he played his second year in the league once, and he played against us year before last.
No,
he's been
both in the second year.
Right?
Yeah, they were both only in the second year. It was March 1st, 2021 and March 19th, 2021.
Man, they was close, too.
Yeah.
Who was cooking us? Man, we be getting cooked by some scrubs, bro.
We be getting cooked by some crazy
Somebody
people,
was
bro.
Cooking us on, and it wasn't. Here's the thing, right?
He didn't play last season, so it wasn't him.
I know it wasn't him last season, but here's the funny part about Denver. Vooch is really good against Nikola Jokic. Like, I don't know if it's because he's like, we're gonna prove who's the real Nikola around here, but like. He plays really well against Jokic. Like last year, we were sitting there praising his defense against Jokic. He was making Jokic work to get through the passing lanes. He was doing a lot of things really, really well. So it got to be somebody random that was cooking us, because I absolutely remember somebody just cashing out on us, just being like, hey, y'all gonna guard that? And I know it was a corner 3.
That's hilarious, bro. Oh, man, the Bulls got a big test. They need that interior defense got to be on point, too. I won't lie to you. What they do with the rebounding game in this one is going to be highly important as well if they can win that battle. If the Bulls can win the rebounding game against Denver and stop them from getting extra possessions and extra points, it's going to help a lot. You can't – Jokic is one of those people at this point you can't stop, right? We know you're not stopping Jokic. But you can definitely slow him down. You can make him ineffective. You can take some possessions away from the team overall. And hopefully the Bulls can do that. The Denver Nuggets come in as the 9th best rebounding defense in the NBA.
That makes sense.
That's tough.
That's tough right there. That makes sense though. But you know what? I mean, they got a lot of length on that team. And the one thing is, right, it's different because last season, for one, I know who it was. It was Aaron Gordon. Last season, it was Aaron Gordon. That's
one light-skinned person to another.
God dang it. Here we go. Hey, is that the most light-skinned team in the league, bro?
I don't know. Well, once Lonzo's back, we're pretty light-skinned
It's us. It's us. We really
and Golden State, too. Can't forget Golden State.
But no, I think, right, like, the thing is now you have to figure out a way to, like you said, Jokic is going to be a tough stop for anybody. So don't expect it, right? Although this is what I was going to look up. In 9 games versus Vooch, 9 games. Now, still ridiculous numbers, right? But when you go game by game, Jokic versus Vooch, 16 points, 10 rebounds, 9 assists. But there's like one 30-point game with 11 rebounds and 5 assists. Outside of that, 12, 17, and 9, 6, 10, and 11, 12, 8, and 13, 27, and 4, 18, 9, and 12, 28, 15, and 10. That's a really good one. And last year, 17, 12, and 15. So, like, crazy numbers, but not Jokic, like, oh, my God, he destroyed us numbers, right? So, I think that the matchup you got to key in on is Jokic and Vooch. And then outside of that, right, you can't let Aaron Gordon get off on you. You can't let Michael Porter Jr. get off on you. And I'm going to tell you this right now, Patrick Williams, depending on how much tick you get, that's a matchup you can kill. That is the worst
Gordon
defense
matchup?
in the NBA. No.
You're talking about on offense?
Michael Porter Jr. That's a matchup that Patrick Williams should be able to destroy offensively. Because Porter Jr. ain't playing no defense.
Well, that's if he's guarding him. Wouldn't it be Aaron Gordon on him, though?
On Patrick Williams?
Yeah.
I would think Aaron Gordon's a better defender. You might want to put him on somebody like DeMar or something, because that was the matchup they had last year, right?
I don't remember. Because I mean,
There was no
Patrick
Porter
Williams is out
Jr.
so
as
far.
well, but
Yeah. So I'm not sure there, but I'm just thinking of. Yeah, they probably would put Aaron Gordon on DeMar.
I would think you would want Aaron Gordon on your better defender or
sense.
your better scorer because he's a better defender, or even Aaron Gordon on Zach LaVine, right? We've seen that before. But I mean, if I'm Denver, right, I'm thinking Patrick Williams isn't going to take that many shots, so I might as well put Michael Porter Jr. on him because he's going to take the least amount of shots that actually need to be defended. That's a moment where, and honestly, right, that's a moment where I'm looking at Billy Donovan now. I need to see another game of actually running plays for P. Will to see if it's what we think it is. And this is a game where you got a dude that literally is horrible at defense. I love MPJ. He's one of the worst defenders I've ever seen in my life.
Oh, he does not
figure it
defend anything. And I think they're probably going to cross defend because I would say you're probably going to put P. Will on Michael Porter Jr.
I would think so, yeah.
And so, but you're going to have Michael Porter Jr. guard DeMar. So that could be also a mismatch to use in transition because if they're cross guarding like that, that means they're going to have to basically switch in transition. So maybe the Bulls can push the pace. Billy Donovan has to have a game plan. So.
Yeah, well, yeah. I would hope that through the 10 games here, we've had a game plan, but I think maybe a game plan that's a little bit different from the one you've gone to. Because listen, the Zach LaVine pull-up game plan, it works sometimes. Sometimes it's not falling, and that's a problem. That's a whole different issue. The DeMar DeRozan 2-dribble pull-up game plan, we know what that is. They know what that is. They're going to defend it. Vooch is something that you can really look at, and I think that P. Will is where you can exploit it.
Yeah, definitely. You got to look out for Bones Highland off the bench as well, who's been killing it.
Oh, yeah. Bones Highland's been cooking. And you know what? I mean, we've overlooked him. I don't know how we've overlooked him, but is Murray playing still? Jamal Murray going to be there for this game?
He's not listed on the injury report at all.
Well, guess what? That's somebody you got to worry about. Io DeSumo. I need to see a Sun performance out here. We haven't called somebody Io Sun in a while. Yeah, I mean, I need to see a Sun since Kyrie Irving. I need to see a Sun performance out here.
Has it been since
Kyrie's the last one that I called his son because Kyrie looked bad.
Yeah, hopefully we need it. We'll see what happens in that game. But Pat, unless you got anything else, man, that's it.
That's it, man. Follow us on everything at Locked On Bulls. Follow me on everything at Pat the Designer. Be live for the live call on Sunday, so tune in with us on that. And Haize will be live for the post-game show over there on CBC, and over here we'll be live for a post-game show. So we got so much content coming to y'all Bulls-wise, bro. What y'all sleeping on? Wake up.
You can follow me at CEO Haize, the CEO Haize. And thank you for making Locked On Bulls your first listen every day. Now for your second listen, go and check on did it there. Go check out Locked On Sports today, where from the games that matter, the most important to the biggest stories in the sports, go beyond the scoreboard and behind the scenes with local experts and insights only Locked On can provide. Locked On Sports today, available on this app, YouTube, and wherever you get your podcasts. For Pat the Designer, I'm Haize. We out. It's Friday. Peace, y'all.
Peace, y'all. Yeah.